PS4 Pro HDMI port replacement. I've already dismantled the unit and I thought I'll just do a quick clip. There you go, you can see that that's been damaged. Here are all the rest of the bits. Do pay attention to all the thermal pads that they need to be, you know, put back on if they fall off, so that's very important you do that. I will be replacing the thermal paste with the Arctic MX4, so that gooey gunky crap will be gone. Let me wrap this around and I'll move on to the next bit. I've masked the area, so I'm not exposing any unnecessary heat, especially the HDMI controller here, that one, so that's been covered. Some of the caps are covered. This port next to it, the HDMI will suffer excessive heat, so I've covered this. I might cover this just in case, because that's for the audio out, for the digital audio out basically. So it's plastic. It might start sort of melting, just in case. It shouldn't, but I'm just going to put a bit of Captain tape over it just to sort of for precaution basically. At the bottom I've covered these little components here, but I've left these legs of the HDMI because I may expose a bit of heat here to take it off. Applied a bit of flux, as you can see. I'm going to reflow all the joints with low melt solder. Right, it's on the bench now, and I'm going to try and take the HDMI port off now. Let's try and get a nice focused image. There we go. Hopefully is it clear? Yeah, that's clear, and that's as close as I can get. So let's get the hot air station on the top. I've got a preheater because these boards are very thick. It does require a lot of heat, and I don't want to apply too much heat from the top for too long, otherwise it will damage the board. So I'm going to set my hot air to about A7, that would be roughly about 350 degrees Celsius. And the bottom heat is round about, I'd say about 150, 120, something like that. Right, I'm going to go for the kill now. So I'm applying gentle heat around. I can already see the solder balls. Oh, balls? Did I just say solder balls? No, solder, I meant liquidus. But this is an absolute utter nightmare to work with these boards because they're very thick. So you will have to bear with me. Yeah, it is absolutely utter nightmare working with these boards. Might even have to turn it upside down and do it that way. See how much heat it requires for it to come off. It's absolutely kind of beyond belief at some extent that these boards are so thick. It just requires awful amount of heat. We've got to be careful because you don't want to be burning the board off. So that's been taken care of now. Now I've got to do is, while it's on top of the preheater and the board is warm, I'm going to use the Metcal soldering station to try and sort of get rid of all the solders, particularly from the hole for the HDMI port pin, the 4 leg that goes in. So let's do that. Might have to change the tip on that, but let's see. Okay, so I might have to apply a bit more flux and more solder. just get some low melt solder on it, and probably would change the tip. What I'm doing is I'm just reflowing the joints with low melt solder, so as I'm using the copper braid, it should come off. All the solder should come off right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace my tip with something a little bit more powerful. It's the beauty of these Metcalfe soldering stations that they come with a massive variety of tips. Use you can't see what I'm doing, can you? There you go. That's what I replaced it with, and the station will reset. Probably use that's what I'm using. Okay, so let's crack on with it. Yeah, I assume that my hands are on the way, so I don't know how to sort of deal with this matter. Let's see if I can. Keep the video short because the upload takes forever. Okay. For this basically, I bought a bulk of these, so I have plenty of them. Probably about, I don't know, about probably 10 pieces of them off eBay. Someone was selling them, so I thought I'll grab them while I can. Now it's coming to use. With all the issues in China, unfortunately, God help us, this coronavirus is killing thousands of people worldwide, and also it'll be affecting businesses, which is kind of a least concern because probably people's health comes as a top priority. So that's the original port, damaged, but it's taken off. Should have taken that little thingy off the bottom. What did it do? So I might have to sort of substitute something for this. I do have these little things, so I'll put one on. So as you can see, that the area, I've taken the solders out of these 4 pins. Give it a quick clean. Let's give it a nice clean. And I won't be needing this unit anyway, so I'll move it shortly. As you can see close up, let me see if I can get you a view close up. There you go. There you go. You can virtually see through the hole basically. There's no solders in between, so it's very nice to sort of put the port in. It'll just go in, and then you finish off with the rest of it with soldering. There it is. Here is the port, bought from Tech Zone in the UK. They claim to be original Sony, so I did check the quality, and I'm pretty happy. On a closer inspection, it does look genuine. Obviously this is beaten, but as I said, I've had a very close look, and I'm quite satisfied that these are, you know, genuine ports, if not the best that's available to buy. Right, soldering was nearly done, but after checking with my multimeter, there is a bridging at the end Let me show you if I can get to the last pin. Let's see if I can get it, come on, stupid thing. Yeah, that's not going to happen, that, is it? No, it's not going to happen. So you're just going to have to take my word for it. The last pin has got a bridge in, so what I'm going to do is going to remove that. It's always a good idea when you soldered these ports is to run a continuity check between the pins, whichever, you know, from right to left or whichever, and just to make sure that they're not sort of beeping basically. So yes, last one I couldn't see, but I've spotted it now, so I'm going to resolve this basically. The bridging has been removed. Let's see if I can get, again, attempt number 2 to try and see if I can get a view. And I guess not, because the microscope camcorder needs focusing. Okay, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. That's been done. It's been cleaned now. It's a matter of putting everything back together now. So, excuse me. So I'll be applying a bit of decent thermal paste. Choose that. Okay. Thermal paste applied. I've got to remove this gunk off here, and then I'll be putting the unit back together. Yep, just putting the unit back. Don't forget to put these thermal pads back on, and when you do dismantle it, it's always a good idea to sort of take them off the board, because you can drop them. They're usually either sat on here or on top of these RAM basically, so don't forget to do that. Okay, let's I'm going to give it these surfaces a bit of clean cotton board and IPA 99%. That's all you need. Okay, just finishing putting the unit back together now. Right guys, the unit has been put back together. Moment of truth. Let's power on the unit and see how we go on with it. Okay, so all the leads are connected. Put the controller on. That's my testing controller. Power it on and see what we get on the display here. Excellent. There's a disc in there. I can hear a disc sort of running, but excellent. That's just wait for the for it to boot up completely, and it's done so. Superb. You want me to press the button? Okay. Right, brilliant. Job's done. Sound's coming through. Everything's working as it should do. Yep, absolutely brilliant. That's all really. Look after yourself, and I'll catch up with you in the next video. Bye for now. And oh, just before I leave, obviously there's a lot of issues with coronavirus and things like that. God help us all. Do look after yourself. Do follow the procedures for you know, like cleaning your hands and things like that, and not to sort of make contact with people out about. So you know, all I'm going to say is that this is just a crisis, an epidemic that's appeared from nowhere. So hope you guys stay well. Hope you guys stay well and safe, and look after yourself and look after your family. That's all I can say to you guys. All the best.